we're going to start with one of the biggest kitchen retailers in the country. Jonathon Wagstaff is the head of Alno in the UK, amongst other things, and we're going to, first question we're going to ask you is what exactly you're in charge of these days. And of course, the head of Alno is in charge of Toto, which is the biggest kitchen franchise chain, as well as some Solus Alno stores as well. So, please welcome to the stage Jonathon Wagstaff. This is where it gets all a bit Parkinson. Thank you. Now, first of all, there's obviously been some movements at Alno, so I'm not going to delve too deeply, don't worry, but what exactly are you in charge of these days?
Very simply, I'm responsible for Alno's subsidiary businesses. So, UK, US, Scandinavia.
Right.
And as we have formed Alno International, separate from the public company, ultimately we're going to develop our business and open more subsidiaries in different countries.
Yeah. Those
subsidiaries fall into my responsibility.
Right. So, I'm mostly going to talk to you about retail today.
Good.
Good. Because I think it's always fascinating that you've got sort of foot in both camps and can understand the supply side of the market and the retail market and the clashes that happen between the two. But you have the word international in your title. And obviously Wednesday is a big day for Europe if we're going to officially trigger Brexit. So I thought I'd sort of start with that really, with what, from your perspective, Alno is a massive German company, big importer, big exporter. What's your view on it?
I think when I look around our industry, our supply chain is global. It isn't just UK, it's not just Europe. There are lots of producers now bringing product from China. There are producers of product bringing components from Europe. And Brexit is just another challenge. It isn't a start and stop. It's not going to change our strategy of which direction we should go. Yes, it's a challenge, mainly because of uncertainty. And consumers feel nervous when things are uncertain. And so Brexit for us is it's one to add to the list. If I knew better, if I knew the exact implications of Brexit, then I probably wouldn't be doing this. But none of us do it. None of us can plan. One of the interesting things for me is that there are lots of economists out there, and anybody who deals with international banks, they send you currency forecasts. And we receive currency forecasts from 20 different banks, 20 different experts in their field. Every single one of them is different. So none of them share the same view on what's going to happen with currency. So for us, well, we can't rely on what the experts are going to say, so we just have to plan our business taking account of the uncertainty that Brexit may bring.
Right.
Because that's it.
But what does that mean in terms of prices or pricing? Or how can you forecast anything? And how will that affect the retailers on the...
We've taken a decision, and we took it really in 2009 and 10 to be consistent. So we're not going to change our pricing linked to a euro or linked to a particular currency rate. We are going to look at what the market price demands for our products, what we think our customers can sell it for and make a profit, what we need to sell it for and make a profit, what we need to produce it for and make a profit. And that's what we do. So we saw last year a 20% devaluation in the pound to euro. At the end of 2016, we made no changes throughout the year. We didn't adjust currency at all throughout 2016. At the end of the year, we put our prices up 2.9%. Now, for us, it's a long-term view. That's it. We're not here to speculate. How do we manage it? Well, we have a hedging policy in place, as any company does that buys or sells significant amounts of currency in any one currency or another. But our view is we need to be consistent. We need to look at our local market, and we take the same view in the UK with what we think the currency, what we think the market price for our product is going to do, and also on this other. And that's the same view in Scandinavia, it's the same view in the US, it's now the same view in Switzerland. Of course, Switzerland had a big change some time ago. So,
when you speak to your guys over in Germany, do they just think we're totally insane?
I think Germany is, there's a population there, 500 they're European by nature. They want to be. They're in the middle of the European continent. So they look at it and go, why would a relatively small island that may be a big player in the global economy, we're number 5 or 6 now, why would you want to make life more difficult for yourself?
You just described the English nature for generations that only we like making life difficult for ourselves.
Well, you say English, then do you not mean British or United Kingdom? Or our Scottish colleagues are talking about becoming independent from the UK. Well, as standalone nations, we are just going to make ourselves, that will make our lives more difficult.
Yes.
But it's another challenge.
Well, look, let's get on to the retail side of things. Could you give us just an idea of basically how the retail aspect of Alno is settled in the UK? To sort of give us a brief overview of that.
Yeah, principally Alno UK. We have 50 Toto stores. We've got 25 independent Alno partners, majority of which are exclusive to us now, and we also have a relationship with Jonathon.
So how does the, in terms of a franchise operation, how does that actually operate within the Alno business? How involved are you, how involved corporately are you with each one of those in Toto stores?
The nature of franchising, if you like, what is our fundamental of our business? Our business is a knowledge transfer business. We're trying to attract people from outside the kitchen business into the kitchen business. That's the nature of the Toto. That's what it was set up to do. So, how involved are we in every one? Well, of course, it depends on their needs and requirements at the time. When we set up an Toto, a franchisee has 2 to 3 months of training, depending on their level of experience and time commitments. And then we have a franchise manager in that store 1 day a week, every week for the first 6 months. Now, once they get past that period, it depends on how big, it depends on their requirements, and as we all know, if you didn't set up a business, things go according to plan. Sometimes things go slightly off plan. Our job and their job is to constantly review what our plan was and to try and steer it as close as we can to that plan. And our involvement is as much as required from that individual franchisee.
So what's your take on how the retail market is doing at the moment? How is that as a unit functioning? Is it up, down, good, bad?
I think we've been, Alno UK as a business has grown about 18 to 20% every year for the last 5 years. At times the retail business has speeded up faster than that and the project business has slowed down. Our business is broadly split 50-50 between contracts and retail partners. Last year the retail business increased 8-9% for us, which is a bit less than we would have liked. We had a slow start last year, mainly because we didn't get our marketing to consumer right in the first half. Changed in the second half, we brought up a lot. This year we've been very lucky or very successful, or did we achieve our plan? Our business, our order intake in the retail business this year, 40% up on last year.
Right, and why would you see that?
I think this year in particular, I think the market is better. I think consumers are more focused on their buying cycle. If you look at advertising spend of the big advertising players to consumers, like Magnets, Rens, and B&Q and all those other large spenders on television, media, print media, they focus most of their spend around that Boxing Day to end of February. That is just building awareness with the consumer. It's driving consumers to focus on their purchasing habit. Their purchasing habit, certainly the information we get, is it's being driven towards spring, it's being driven towards summer, and yes, there's still business to be had in April, May, and June, and October and December. Very much, I think the patterns of retailing are driving it. So our business has increased because, I think we've got our offer right, so we got our message to the consumer right. We timed it when the market is improving, and ultimately the consumer is feeling now's a good time to do it.
Right. So it's external and internal factors. It's interesting you said that you switched how you did your marketing halfway through. What did you actually you do? What was wrong with it? What did you right with it?
Last year we took the decision that we would not be visible to the consumer with a percentage discount in the first quarter.
Right.
And what we found was, whilst we had promotion and we were quite aggressive with our appliances and other bits and pieces, difficult to communicate.
Right.
The consumer didn't really understand it. Because they didn't understand it, they didn't want it. So, we're not 70% off, and another 10% if you like. We're very much, this is our pricing throughout the year. We support our retail partners with additional discounts on the products they buy from us to allow them to give a very consistent offer to the consumer across the whole country.
So it's one of the things I was going to talk to you about, because once you get past a certain size of I know all franchisees, but effectively a brand new chain of retailers, clearly you don't do that kind of price reduction type promotion, whereas it clearly seems to work very well for everybody else. So I'm wondering what you...
that's what I'm saying, we do a price reduction promotion.
It's not sticking all over the window and...
It's I suppose, slightly more subtle than that. Yes, there are posters, there are messages, we do promote it online. Interestingly, we find now 80% of our consumers visit us online first.
Really?
So before they come into a shop, before they have walked into your door, they've seen us before.
Yeah.
And I think that's the message for everything. Whether we like it or not, everybody in this room will have a smartphone. If we go to buy anything, we rarely drive into a town and think, well, let's have a look around and see. We generally look online first. So if you're not on the first page of Google, if you're not clear with your message and what you offer to the consumer, then they skip past.
I guess that's one of the things you can offer as a franchisor, is that you can take care of that side of the business for them, don't you? Not take care of it on but you can build those sites and build that marketing.
Yeah, we build a site. Every store has their own microsite within it, which they populate and contribute to themselves. I think what we do is we bring together all of these different facets. We bring together Twitter accounts and Facebook accounts and Pinterest and all those things and link them into that overall global site presenter.
And do you have some evidence that there's a conversion rate there, that those people who are seeing it online are coming in and actually spending and buying money?
Yeah, we track every month how many visitors, how long do they spend looking at our site, the number of pages they look at, and how many of those visitors, if they have given us their details, and that's where you potentially can lose that information because the consumer isn't required unless they download a brochure or do something else. But we can track IP addresses where they've searched from, but we can't tell who it is. But we track virtual traffic versus store traffic versus conversion rate from traffic to inquiry. What we've seen is the number of visitors to our stores isn't increasing. What is increasing is the quality of those visitors. So we're getting the same number of visitors, but the conversion rate from somebody walking into the store to actually booking an inquiry for us to go and potentially solve the kitchen is increasing.
So it's a strong message there, really. If the research to back it up, that you have to have a good website before you, if you want to be a retailer.
It's not even just a good website. We had I'm doing a bit of marketing for Facebook here, but 2 weeks ago we had a consumer post a picture of their new fitted kitchen on their Facebook site, and one of their friends liked that picture, and that popped up on Arlo. And Dan, who's our social media guy, responded to them, glad you like it, thanks very much. By the way, here's the link to download the brochure. He downloaded it 4 seconds later, and a week later went in and bought a kitchen.
There you go.
So,
down to his money.
Down to his money, yeah. But it's difficult, we all know, we all search millions of websites every year, and our details, we can see that you visited from a Samsung or an iPhone or an iPad. One of the things we're able to do is to make sure that our website has evolved every single year, and every 3 or 4 months it has updates, because if you search for us on an iPad today, it will appear slightly different to if you search on a desktop, or if you search on an iPhone or a smartphone. So the amount of websites I try to log on to Hilton Honours Wi-Fi, on my phone, and of course it's so small I haven't got my glasses, but there's no chance I can read that. Now I think, Hilton, big global organisation, surely everybody who walks into these hotels and trying to log onto the Wi-Fi with a phone can't read it.
No.
So if we as consumers,
that.
if we as consumers see, I know if I get a website on the telephone and it's too small, that's the next one.
Well, look, I mean, online is also a part of it. What are the other challenges that you think are affecting the retail side of things? What are retailers tackling from even on the size of you to the small high street player?
I think there are two principal main issues for all retailers. Complexity of the business and the resources we employ. I haven't spoken to a kitchen retailer in the last 2 or 3 years that hasn't said to me, I wish I'd just get some really more and better stuff, right? Because people coming in, Malcolm did an article in KBB about kitchen accreditation, interior design. Everybody says the same thing. We all struggle to get good quality people. And those of us that are in the industry find it fascinating. We like the design element, we like the project management element, we like the interaction with the consumer, the whole aspect of what we do is very interesting and it's very challenging, but it's also fairly complex. So bringing people from outside in, whether you are employing a sales designer, whether you're employing somebody in your warehouse, you receive a kitchen as a delivery to into your warehouse. You've got 60, 70 furniture components, you've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 appliances now, you've got sinks and taps, you've got hot water systems, you've got all sorts of things, and particularly now as handleless kitchens are an RSA taking about 40% of this. The whole process and all of those component parts are different. So to transfer that knowledge to every single customer, every single time, is becoming more challenging.
Does that not make... How long did you say franchisees get training for?
Well, they have an initial 3 months.
Right. So that's still quite a lot to squeeze into 3 months.
Yes, it is. Yeah. And we always look for 2 out of 3 core skills. Let's say good project management, good business administration, good sales, and interested in design. And of course, people don't start. We give them what we call compulsory basic training, and then everybody has to go through every week. But for us as an industry, we've in our business, we've now introduced compulsory basic training for every employee. It doesn't matter whether they're in accounting, whether they're in the warehouse, whatever it is. This is what we do, this is what we sell, and this is our customer.
But, so people's one challenge, what was the other one?
Complexity.
Right.
So our business is naturally becoming more complex. There are different systems, different handle systems. We were talking to a designer the other day who designed a particular kitchen, which is fantastic. It had a long bar handle on it. And they haven't sold the kitchen with a long bar handle for a few years. And there's the wall unit placed against the tall housing with a long horizontal bar handle in the garage. But it is next to the house and will cover it. Now, that's just one example of how complex kitchens are becoming, and the understanding of design. And we need to ask more of our CAD suppliers to highlight conflicts. Fusion and Glyn are very good at highlighting conflicts when you put one unit over the top of the other. Change the handle system, change it from a handle kitchen to a handleless kitchen. None of those systems are out. So we need to try and find a way of, in my view, simplifying what we do, trying to find technology to add more into what we all do as retailers.
And how are you adapting those sort of strategies for how consumers are changing? You must do a lot of research into how consumers work. Online is obviously a big part of that. But how else do you see consumers changing, and how are you adapting the retail model to that?
I think consumers are asking more. They are certainly better educated. They want more from us. They want more from us in terms of design. So we try and look at how many typical replacement kitchens do we do. Take a kitchen out of a room, put another one in. And that's probably only about half of our business today. The rest of our business is take a kitchen out, take a wall down, put a ceiling in, do something else, create a living space that consumers want to occupy. So consumers are asking more from us as retailers. We need to adapt our showrooms to, I think, create them as more open space living areas rather than just kitchen display areas. And we all, as employees in this industry, need to be better educated about design and building control and regulation and those other things that are coming on here.
Well, it's about showrooms. I've actually got some showroom pictures up here. It's sort of like we're talking through what your sort of strategy for showrooms is, or what they should look like and what they should achieve. Because one of the interesting things about Toto is it's also lots of different variations of different sizes of showroom, different types of showroom, different buildings. So this is, on the left here we've got Birmingham, on the right here I think we've got Teddington. This is Stratford on the left and Ribble Valley on the right. I love the Ribble Valley one's my favourite because it's got that lamppost that's sticking out the top of it. Absolutely. So what's your, and then we've got some internals here. This is the Stratford store. So as you say, it's very open plan, everything else. And I think this is that's the website. So what's your thinking about showrooms and what they should achieve and how they should make every square foot pay for itself?
Well, I think if you use Teddington as an example, because Teddington has been there since 1987, and when Teddington was first opened, it had 13 kitchens on display. Now, today, that same showroom, same floor space, same location, has 5. Right. And principally, yes, they're bigger. There's much more space around them. There's much more opportunity for the consumer to stand back and look. So it's not about necessarily cramming more in. Our principal strategy for all the showrooms is presentation is always key. Everything should be up to date. It's always frustrating. Of course, manufacturers discontinue doors. Of course, there's always constant change. Appliance companies change things all the time, different model numbers. But we try and keep everything up to date. So part of our annual review with every store is where are we, what needs to go, what needs to come in. Having these constant rolling plans, so we're always improving it. And then ultimately to try and reflect where do we want it to go. Is the plan for this particular location about selling the same amount of kitchens next year, but with an emphasis on increasing our average order value? Do we feel we're more successful with a particular area of converting customers spending 15 to 25,000 or 10 to 20,000? That's broadly our marketplace. And making sure that displays and exhibition is set up to appeal to our customer and know our customer.
It's, I guess it's a slightly different arrangement with you than with a completely independent retailer about the cost of displays, and to take one display out and put another one in is a costly business, it's messy. How does that work within Toto? Who pays for those displays? Is it the retailer and the franchise? Right. So how sort of strict are you with how frequently they change those displays?
I think anything discontinued, we want out within a 6-month period. We've also got an Alno store in Whitmore Street, and people say, well, how often should we change the display? Well, Graham, who's the showroom manager from that store, will tell you, if you go downstairs, there's a high-gloss white kitchen, white corridor, like this. That's been in 5-6 years now. It's still current. It's still one of our best-selling doors. Everything in it is still very, yes, we've changed the appliance, we want to change the tap. So it's not necessarily has it got a fixed life cycle? Is it doing its job? Is it creating interest for the consumer? Do we still feel enthusiastic about it? Because we as salespeople and designers have got to feel confident that the products we show to people are what we feel confident and we feel the best opportunity to sell.
Now we've come to the stage of this where everybody here suddenly feels very nervous, because I start looking that way and I say, in a minute I'm going to see if anyone's got any questions. I'm going to do some Q&A. Now look, I know it's a conference, I know it's early, I know the last thing anyone wants to do is put their hand up, but this is your chance, okay? So I'm coming to you in a minute to get thinking. First one to ask a question wins a prize. My undying gratitude. I'm wondering what sort of lessons you've, because you're a supplier and a retailer, I'm wondering how you change your business as a supplier because of what you know as a retailer. Because you provide the furniture to Alno stores, but obviously you have a lot of dealing with sinks and taps and appliances as well. So how do you deal with suppliers as a supplier?
Well,
Does it make you a better supplier?
Of course it does.
Yeah.
With the franchise business, and we have Alno franchises now as well as the total franchises, we supply the furniture, the worktops, the appliances, the sinks and taps. And whilst we do not say to any customer, well, you cannot supply a particular product, we only display the products that we supply. By doing that, we consolidate all of our purchasing. Our customers, we believe, get the best possible prices for the third-party items, whatever the prices they are, and for the furniture and for the worktops. And it reduces complexity. They place orders with one place, they receive sales invoices from one place, and the whole focus is spend less time administrating your business and more time on generating income. Now, what have we learned from it? Firstly, presentation, training of staff. Well, of course, we all knew that before, but I think when you do it directly yourselves, you suddenly realise, actually, in a retail studio kitchen specialist that gets 2-3 visitors a day, sometimes maybe 4 on a Saturday, typically on a Saturday they all come at the same time, which is always frustrating. How do we develop and make that an interesting environment? Because when people have worked in the industry, worked in shops, they do become interested. But for somebody coming out of university who's looking at Marks and Spencer's graduate scheme, or looking at becoming an architect, or going down a quantity surveying route, they'll look very sort of interesting and sexy places to work. Kitchen shops are sort of fairly small and quiet. So one of the things we've learned is we've got to try and make it more active and more engaging, and we come back to this compulsory basic training and wanting to try and educate people, really show them they're not just going to be pigeonholed in one thing and that's your job. You're going to try and get some experience in lots of different areas. So that was one thing, that whole training process and making it more exciting for particularly young people coming to the industry. The second thing was, distribution logistics is a real hassle. It's a real difficulty. Part of it for our business is we are now investing in a new distribution centre south of Birmingham, between just north of Aylesbury. And part of that service can be, every retailer tries to educate a warehouse or their own warehouse staff, and they've got to transfer all that knowledge again. So as well as doing it for the sales staff, they've now got to do it for the warehousing staff, as well as installation staff. Well, for us, if we can potentially take that piece of the distribution away, we believe we can make life easier for them. We believe we can provide a service tailored to that store and their customers' needs. And we can do it more efficiently because we're doing it with a smaller group and really focusing knowledge on that group of people.
Yeah. Okay, here we come. Let's see how we go. Has anybody got any questions? Oh, you bastards. Yes, hello, there's a question down the front here, sir. Where's our mic? Is AJ the mic?
Is that on? Jonathan, you said there's a white kitchen in your Wigmore basement that's been there and relevant for at least 5 years and probably will be there and relevant for the next 5 years. What are your predictions about how successful the colours are going to be in assailing the kind of the white kitchen monopoly?
Good question. Thank you. Underlying gratitude, sir. Thank you very much.
I think if we look at the UK market and the sales we make in the UK, we don't often sell now a singular one-colour kitchen. Our type of customer has normally got some contrast, be it worktop, be it doors, be it the cabinet, be it banquet hall units or wall units. So, actually a complete white kitchen is now quite an unusual thing for us. But colour for us has become more important. So we now have 8 or 9 different shades of grey. I hope we never make 50, but if we stick with 8 or 9. And that's really been driven by looking at our businesses internationally, what's happening in those countries. So if I make the same comparison with Scandinavia, less than 20% of their kitchens are sold are white kitchens. In Germany, it's still 70% of the kitchens are white with a shade of white. UK, we've certainly moved down and we've now got a lot more colour involved, and we're seeing more contrast. So I think we've gone away a little bit from just straightforward wood effect laminates and white or magnolia doors. There's now really combinations of colour schemes, and particularly at the moment, shades of grey very.
And the practicality of that is that's where you need to have the logistics and the service to back up having so many different options and so many different choices and make a big difference.
Yeah, it's ultimately we all want one supplier to do everything, and I think as you go up the complexity and scale of the product, yes, you can do that. In our Alno range, we've got colour systems. You can pretty much any colour you want. Very few people end up picking that. Why? Because the standard 15 colour palette in Alno is sufficient for most people. In Toto, it's a standard 9 colour palette is sufficient for most people. So,
well, like anybody else got any other questions? Anybody at all? Helen? Lady at the back.
Hi, Jonathan. You probably would be reluctant to give us an idea of specific sales for your showrooms, but would you be able to give us an idea of scale, perhaps? What your best showrooms do in turnover in a year, what the smallest ones do, or maybe an average? Would you be happy to do that?
yeah, I mean
Get out of that one.
one of the things about franchising, it's often about people's aspiration. What do they want to do? What do they want to achieve? So we have got franchisees that are husband and wife operations. They are very good living through the benefits of today's limited company taxation system, and they get to their 300,000, 400,000 turnover, and they're happy with that, which is great. As long as they are achieving their aspiration, they're profitable, and we're achieving our aspiration, and we have a very good relationship. The moment our probably lowest turnover store is turning out somewhere between 350 and 400 in terms of furniture, appliances, installation, etc. And the highest is just over 2 million.
There you go, that's a comprehensive answer for you. I've got, we'll wrap it up now, to try and catch us a bit of time, but one last question for you really, which is about franchises in general. Because as you guys in Toto are very well established, obviously, but now you've got Alpha coming into it, you've got Kitchen House coming into it, you've got, so do you see franchise models for kitchens growing? And if so, where does it stop and where does it end?
I think consumers, when they are carrying out considered major purchases, are often looking for security. They're looking for knowledge. They're looking to know that whoever they are going to place that 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,000 pound deposit with is going to be there and deliver what they say they will deliver. So, in short, I think brands will become more important. I think, you mentioned about, you mentioned Smith, you mentioned Kitchen House. Kitchen House came in some time ago, particularly in Scotland, went away again. I think the important thing is understand what your customer's going to ask of you. And will customers ask more? Yes, they will. Will brands become more important? Yes, I think they will. How we present that, ultimately, that is up to us as an industry. I see brands and franchising being a major part of the UK business, particularly as we have to compete with the likes of Wren and the likes of Magnet and Howdens and B&Q, as they're all trying to do the same. So everybody's trying to move up and grab more of the consumer buying public. For us, really, we've been consistent with our brand, consistent with our message. We're growing every year at the moment, and certainly intend on focusing more and more on our brand and local services that we provide to the consumer.
Well, look, I think that time's probably beaten us here, but thank you very much. That's really interesting. Let me just click through to the right slide. There we go. Thank you very much for that insight. That's really interesting. Thank you very much, Jonathan.